Hello, we'll do the poem In the Country by WH Davies. So the poet says, this life is sweetest in this wood. I hear no children cry for food. The poet says that in the woods or in the countryside of of a place, life is sweetest because no children go hungry, no children cry for food. So, in the countryside, people are busy from morning till evening on their farms and they grow crops which, with which they feed their families. And so, no children cry for food in the countryside. So, life is sweetest in the countryside. And the poet says, I see no woman white with care, no man with muscles wasting hair. So, also in the countryside, the poet says he sees no woman who is white, who's become pale with worry about the future, about her future or the future of her family. No woman is worried or anxious, and in the countryside, no man who has muscles, who is strong, will be wasting his time. Because in the countryside, there is plenty to do. There is plenty to do on the farm. So, life is sweetest in the countryside, the poet says. But the poet makes an observation in the second stanza. He says, no doubt it is a selfish thing to fly from human suffering. No doubt he is a selfish man who shuns poor creatures sad and wan. So the poet says that it's selfish to think only about oneself, to run away from the suffering for others, to run away from the suffering of other humans. And the poet says the man is always thinking about himself, who avoids or shuns poor creatures, poor human beings who are sad and who are wan, who are weak. Uh, Next, the poet comes to the city where he sees this. In the third stanza, the poet says, "'Tis a wretched life to face hunger in almost every place, cursed with a hand that's empty, when the heart is full to help all men." So, in the city, the poet says he faces a wretched or a miserable life because in almost every place in the city he sees hunger or he sees hungry people, and he himself, his hand cannot help them. He, he is cursed with, he is helpless to help others, but his heart is full to help everybody. He wishes to help anybody in need, but he cannot do anything practical to help them. So he says that he feels wretched uh, in the city. And he says in the last stanza, can I admire the statue great when living men starve at its feet? So in the cities he says he sees statues of great people, great men and women, but under the statue, homeless people are starving at the feet of the statue. They're taking shelter under the statue in the city. And the poet asks, can I admire the park's green tree, a roof for homeless misery? The poet says that he cannot admire the green trees in the parks because those trees shelter homeless people who are miserable and wretched, and in want. So in this poem, the poet compares life in the country and life in the city. This poem was included in the 2001-2002 second PU textbook of English of Karnataka state. Thank you.